Hi there, Lee Tischler here with New Horizons Golf. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about the rope training, and we're going to start with what I call the speed rope, and that's the first level I get golfers started at. And once they're done with the speed rope, we work them on to a combination of what I call a speed lag rope. It has a little extra weight at the end, and then we move on to the lag rope, which is the longest rope. Now, in general, although theoretically we want to go from speed rope to speed lag to lag rope in our training, because it actually gets us to improve our ground force pattern over time. We'll find out that some golfers in particular only need to use the speed rope depending on their swing technique and their dynamics. Some will work on the speed rope and then only go up to the speed lag rope, and some will work all the way through the lag rope. To give you a little bit of an idea here as far as fitting biomechanical patterns and dynamics, we're going to see that on-top golfers typically will use the speed rope, and a lot of times they don't even need to go onto the speed lag rope. Side-on golfers will start with the speed rope and they'll move into the speed lag rope, and then under golfers will move into the pure lag rope in general. Now, although that is sort of a general tendency or recommendation, keep in mind that you could be working with a on-top golfer who certainly needs to get more lag into their swing, or you could be working with an under golfer who has good lag but still needs to get more speed into their swing. So ultimately we do tailor our training to the individuals, we customize it for them. But in general, we're going to start off with the speed rope and we're going to work up through what I would call a lag rope. So let's start with the speed rope here. And so this is, I make them in different lengths and different weights depending on the golfer's height and what their clubhead speed presently is. And so this is one that I would say start with for me at this point, and I can make a heavier version when I improve, but still trying to get more speed into the swing. So the first thing that we want to understand about getting this rope swinging is that we're really trying to create a ground force shift in our golf swing. And you can notice as I just pressure my right foot, then pressure my left foot, pressure my right foot, pressure my left foot, you notice how smoothly I can get the rope to swing. Now I'm just holding it in my right hand. I'm not really doing anything with my right arm and my right hand. I'm just trying to feel the pressure shifts and how the pressure shifts work in the swing right now. If I were to shift and go all the way up to the top, add a little arm swing in there, I'd see that rope would just sort of flop over my shoulder, kind of get me in the back there. And I'm just trying to do that with good rhythm. Once I have that sense of how I get that pressure shift moving back and forth, and I can get it to the top, from here I'm going to try to make a good pressure shift forward, and then once I get that pressure shift forward, I'm going to use that pressure I have under my lead foot to create some posturing up, from which I'll be able to create more speed, with the swinging of the rope on the way through. So here we go again. You're just trying to get that rhythm first. Laird Small's a good friend of mine. He talks about it's like riding a bicycle right now. You're just sort of, pushing on those pedals, right then left, right then left. We'll swing it up to the top, pressure shift, and try to get that speed. Now, I'm doing it with one arm right now just as an example that you don't need to have both hands on there. Typically we'll start with two hands, and over time we'll work on doing that one arm swing. The one arm swing is a little bit more physically demanding, and you need to be a little bit more strong or conditioned to do it. And I definitely recommend, if you are a right-handed golfer and you're swinging from the right-hander side, that you do learn how to get that sense of shift in swing and how to even get speed just in that right arm. But before you get to that, I want you to do it with two hands now. So I'm going to put two hands on there. So I'm just sort of holding it in front of me, my elbows on my side here. Again, I'm just going to pressure back left and right, getting sort of the dance going here. And I want to make sure that rope is just swinging naturally with the dance, and go up to the top, pressure shift, try to get speed. Up to the top, pressure shift, try to get speed. To the top, try to get some speed. So I'll work on getting that basic dance first, and what will happen is if the dance is off, if you're not really doing it well, if you're not timing it or in rhythm, all of a sudden you'll see the rope will start jumping all over the place. It won't be swinging naturally with the pressure shift. Again, the pressure shift is the dance. It's leading the dance, and so the pressure shift leads, the arms, the body, the arms, hands, and the rope follow. All right, so we get that sense. So once I get that sense of how I'm swinging it, I take it up to the top. forward, shift, and speed. Then swing all the way back. Forward, pressure, shift, and speed. All the way back. Forward, pressure, shift, and speed. So I'll do 3 continuous swings like that, and then I'll go ahead and I'll start over again. And so this is a great warm-up drill. You can do this in the parking lot, right out of your car. You can take the rope with you to the driving range. It's a good way to get the sense of how the dynamics of that pressure shift influence your body's motion, and how we want everything in the swing to be working with that pressure shift. Now, I have some other videos where I describe there are different types of pressure shifts. Some people have more of a torquing type pressure shift, so they'll torque it back. So they really feel like they're sort of corkscrewing their feet into the ground. So corkscrew it back, corkscrew it through. And so kind of a Bernard Langer comes to mind when I think of that. Some people have more of a rolling the ankles back. So, roll the ankles back, roll the ankles through, roll the ankles back, roll the ankles through, roll the ankles back, roll the ankles through. In the past, that's been described as sort of a rocking chair motion. If you look at Tom Watson, Byron Nelson, they really talked a lot about that rocking chair motion. Some people think of it more as a step. Step on that right foot, left heel comes up. And then plant that left heel, right heel comes up. So if we can get sort of that heel up version. Heel up, heel up, heel up, heel up. So that's more of a Jack Nicklaus. Heel up, plant that heel and go. Or Sam Snead, heel up, plant that heel and go. They're all valid, and ultimately we want you to understand the specific type of ground force pattern or pressure shift that fits you. Now, I call it ground force pattern instead of ground reaction force because I'm focused as an athlete on how I pressure into the ground, and that's my ground force pattern. The actions that I make to pressure into the ground is what I call my ground force pattern. Ground reaction force is what the ground's pushing back into me. So, I'm more concerned about what I need to do, not on what the ground needs to do into me at this particular time as the athlete. All right? So there will be some future videos where we'll talk more about more specific types of ground force patterns and how we can work that into what I call a power stacking process. But for right now, it's all about just trying to get this rope to go fast. And you need to have a good athletic pressure shift to get that rope to go faster. And so, in the backswing, I always want you to feel like that backward motion is sort of slow and smooth. And then try to get that speed coming forward. Slow and smooth. Get that speed going forward. Slow and smooth. Get that speed going forward. Okay? So you don't need to be trying to whip it back and whip it through necessarily. I want you to get that sense of the dance. How do we get the dance? Left and right. Get it swinging. How do we get that feel all the way up to the top of the backswing with good rhythm? That club or that rope swung nicely that time. It wasn't, flopping around trying to get my hands to go fast. I'm just trying to get that rope swinging at first. I want to take it all the way up to the top with good rhythm. Now I'm going to pressure shift forward and try to get the speed. Pressure shift forward, get the speed. Pressure shift forward, get the speed. Okay, now, the one last thing I want you to tailor into this, and if you know this about your swing already or your body mechanics, you can add this into what you're doing already. If you don't know, just try to get speed and just do it naturally and do it athletically. The more on top a golfer is, the more they kind of try to get that speed right at the bottom, and they're actually going to be standing up a little bit more as they get that speed. So again, I got the pressure shift going. I swing it to the top. I'm going to swing it down and stand up with speed. Swing it down, and I stand up to get the speed. Swing it down, stand up to get the speed. So there's much more of this stand-up postural release happening with the on-top golfer. They're really trying to get that speed right at the bottom in that respect. Okay? The side-on golfer, their speed's going to feel just a little bit out in front of where impact would be. And again, this isn't where we want the actual club head speed to be. This is your feel or your perception in the drill that I'm talking about here. Okay? So the side-on golfer is going to try to get that speed. They're going to get the pressure shift forward, and they're going to be posting up on that front leg, and they want to feel that speed right out in front of their stomach, which is going to be a little bit past impact. So here we go. Get the dance. Swing it to the top. Pressure shift, and get that speed. Pressure shift, get that speed. Pressure shift, get that speed. So those times I started feeling the speed would be kind of right out there in front of me. All right? Now the under golfers, they're going to feel like they have a lot more outward motion. They're going to feel like they get the speed, they carry that extension forward, and the extension sort of carries around a lot more for the under golfer. Okay, so again, I'm going to get that sense of, get the dance going, get that speed, and feel that wide extension. Speed, wide extension. Speed, wide extension. Okay, so that's some way you can tailor these drills to your particular needs if you already know something about your biomechanical pattern. All right, now the next rope we have is what I call a speed lag rope. Okay, and this one isn't particularly made for me. It's a little short, but the idea here is I have more rope tied in the bottom, so the bottom is heavier now. So this gives me the sense of a little bit more delay in the distal end of this rope here, so that I can feel what it's like for me to have a little bit more lag in this motion, but I still need to create that speed. I still need to deliver it down here. I'm never trying to get that lag feel and lag it all the way past impact. That's a waste of time and energy and effort. I'm trying to get the sense, like Jack Nicklaus, had a tip at one point, I remember when I was growing up, about swinging the club up to the top. And imagine somebody grabs that club head, and they grab that club and you change directions, and that person's pulling on that club head momentarily as you change directions. Well, that would create a sense of lag in the transition. But once that transition's done, you want to get that speed going. So even though I'm calling it a speed lag rope and then we move on to lag rope, I'm not encouraging you to try to lag all the way past impact. I want you to get the lag in the transition, and once your full transition's made, and everybody's a little bit different. Some people's transitions stop early or are done early. Some people's lag a lot further down, like a Sergio Garcia. But even Sergio, once he gets it down there, he's trying to create that speed and he needs to release it by the time it gets to the ball. And so we need to understand, particularly for ourselves, how do we do that. This lag rope or speed lag rope will help you do that. So it's the same dance. Now as I'm doing the dance, I can feel the weight on the end of that rope a lot better. And I'm going to swing that rope up to the top again, and then feel that, almost a sense that by transition, when I pressure forward, that transition is almost creating a motion that's going through my arm, my body, my arms, and the rope, and it's pulling on that weight at the end of the rope, right in the transition. But once I feel that lag transitional move, boom, then I'm going to try to get the speed. So here we go. And in a sense, I'm trying to do this exactly the same way I did the speed rope, but it's having the extra weight at the bottom that's getting that little bit of lag that I need into the transition. Up. There we go. Up. Good. Now one of the things I notice as I'm doing this is because of the weight of the rope, the backswing feels like the rope is stretched out more and it's making sort of a bigger, longer arc. And that's a good feel to have here. So again, I'm getting that feel of swing, and I'm going to feel when I go up to the top, it really stretches out, and then I get that speed coming forward. A little lag in the transition I feel, getting that speed going forward. Now, because it has that extra weight on the rope, it also feels like it stretches the arc around on this side a little bit bigger. And again, this is sort of a progressive feel. I'm trying to get more and more. The speed rope really feels more like I'm sort of whipping it or just sending it. The speed lag rope feels like that arc gets stretched out a little bit more. There's a little bit of lag in a transition. The speed is there, and then the arc really stretches all the way around in the follow through. Okay? So get the dance, feel the weight at the end of this rope now. Swing that weight all the way up to the top with good pressure shift. Get the lag and the speed. Lag and speed. There we go. Okay, so, and then once again, you can tailor this for your given biomechanics. If you are an on-top golfer, you're going to feel that motion work more downward. And so from the top, I'm going to feel that motion work downward, and I'm going to have more stand-up in there. So that would look more like this. I get the dance again, up. And I'm an under golfer, so this particular one's sort of hard for me to do. And even though I'm trying to demonstrate it, there'll be things that don't look right because I'm an under golfer trying to do the on-top version. But those of you that are on-top golfers and already understand your stand-up postural release, you'll get what I'm saying about using the rope in that manner. Again, if you're a side-on golfer, you want to make sure in the transition, your pressure goes to your lead foot. You're posting on that leg as you get the speed. Okay? So we get this. Good side-on golfer swing. Pressure shift, post and speed. Pressure shift, post and speed. Pressure shift, post and speed. And again, it feels like the speed's a little bit more sort of out in front of me right here. Okay? Under golfers, we want to get that speed and feel that nice wide arc all the way around to the finish. So let's get the dance again. Feel that pressure shift, feel the weight at the end of the rope. All the way to top. Really stretch it out. Speed, stretch it out. Get that speed, stretch it out. Okay? And so, you know, that's the main concept that we're working with the speed lag rope. Okay, now we're going to move on to the lag rope. As you can see, it's a lot longer, and again, it's heavier as well. And ultimately, we want to get these, you know, custom made for each individual. I make a variety of different lengths and sizes and weights in these for the individual. I do have some standard recommendations I do when I send those out for instructors that want to get a few for their students. And then from there, we can have them made in particular. If we know the height of the golfer and we know their club head speed, we can really tailor it for the individual. Okay, so here we go, the lag rope. Again, it's a lot longer, but I want to get that sense of the dance is the same. Okay, from here, once I get the dance going, I'm going to swing it to the top. Again, it's going to feel like a lot longer arc and take more time to get all the way up and around to the top. It'll kind of flop around and sort of hit me in the chest, you see, if I just stop like that. Well, I get that sense of really swinging it up to the top. Okay? Now, once I get there, again, I'm going to have that pressure shift. I need a stronger pressure shift to really get the lag moving, to get this chain of events all the way through the end of the rope. And once I have that feeling in the transition, then boom, I try to go ahead and put the speed, as much speed as I can, into the rope. Once again, in the fall through, because it is longer, has a little more lag, it's going to feel a little bit more stretched out in the fall through. So here we go. You'll notice I'm holding this a little higher now, just because I don't want the end of the rope, you know, touching the ground when I'm doing the dance. But you could actually do it lower, and you'll actually feel the end of that rope kind of lagging on the ground as you do that, and that's okay as well. So we got that dance. Okay, now I'm going to take it to the top, transition, pressure shift, and try to get that lag all the way around. Pressure shift, get that lag all the way around. Pressure shift, there we go. Again, I'm not trying to say that I'm lagging it all the way through the ball. I'm trying to get the sense of lag, speed, and then whoosh, feel the arc, stretch that arc all the way around. So get that dance again, all the way up. And again, in general, this rope works better for under golfers than it does for side-on and on-top golfers. But you will find some side-on and on-top golfers that need to stretch out their arc a little bit. Maybe they collapse a lot in their swing, and so you want to encourage them to have a little bit more of this feel. Okay, so one little follow-up here. A lot of people ask, you know, how many times should I do this? Well, the more the better. You know, it's good conditioning. It's a good exercise as well. You'll find out. You know, but in general, you know, if you just start with the dance first, and you take it up to the top and swing 3 times back and through, you know, with the speed rope here, trying to get the speed, and then start over again. Get the basic dance first. Make sure that that club isn't flopping all over the place. You want to make sure the rope is dancing with the pressure shift. Okay, take it up to the top 3 times. Speed through, pressure shift, speed, pressure shifts, speed. Okay, and then you start over. I'd say, you know, you'll do 3 in a row, and if you do 5 sets, that's plenty. You know, if you're doing it at home, do 5 sets in the morning, 5 sets at night. You don't have to overdo things. Golf is a marathon. It's a marathon on the golf course. It's a marathon over time as far as how long we're going to play this game. If you just do it on a regular basis, ideally 7 days a week, but you even give me 5 days a week or 4 days a week, and you continue to do it over time, you're going to find you're going to improve more and more and more. The key is staying with it, okay? A lot of people want to pound it out and see if they can get all done at once. Well, then they don't maintain it. So if you do it consistently, you're going to get a lot more benefits from swinging the ropes. All right, now if you have any questions about how to use these ropes in particular, please send me a message, or post that question on the New Horizons Golfer group on Facebook, and we'll get those questions answered.